Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your guys' first team all purpose podcast. We are swerving on the corner. We might bend and swerve on the corner. Whoa, whoa. Shouts to that boy Jello Ball who's got one right now that's got the music industry going crazy. While we're on the music tip, we like to start off our pod with a little music. I was thinking about this because there's a lot of cats, historically that got a lot of bars in hip hop, right? Going back from Biggie to Big L, Pac, Hove, Nas, recently Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, these guys going at it. So I'm thinking like if you had to have someone battle for your life, right? A rapper had to win a battle, and it don't got to be like a series of songs. Let's say one record for another rapper's record, but you need one guy to get off a crazy diss record to save your life. Who would you choose?
That's tough. A diss record. When I read the question, I thought you meant like a battle, like a rap battle. So I was thinking of more like Loaded Lux. If I needed a
Oh,
battle,
like battle rappers.
yeah,
Oh,
like
okay,
if I
okay.
needed one to save my life. So, but damn, sheesh. Let me see on the damn. I had to go with Styles P, the Ghost.
Okay.
That's interesting.
I had to take
That's
Styles
interesting.
P, the
Okay,
Ghost.
okay. Styles P, SP the Ghost. Okay, I
I had
mean
to take him.
LOXD block. You can't go wrong
For,
with
for a diss track, I think he got me. I think he got me
okay.
for one diss track.
Okay. Gene, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Oh, I'm gonna just. I already got my choice. I'm gonna go with Beanie Siegel,
This guy
Desert
loves.
Eagle. Yo, listen, he's one of the only few rappers who like handle Jadakiss, bro. Right?
Beanie nice. Beanie nice.
He
He's
is
a little
nice,
That was
bully.
bro.
a nice battle.
He handled Jadakiss on his own beat. The what's that? Stop! Put your hands up, beat. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Beans will get real disrespectful with it, his tone. But I mean, he don't have the voice anymore because he was dealing with all those health situations. But in his
Right.
prime, Beanie Siegel.
That's a
Okay.
good one.
So we all have one thing in common. The guy that I want is connected to both guys you guys mentioned, right? You mentioned Beanie, you mentioned Styles. For me, it's without question Jadakiss. Like, there's nobody that I would want on my behalf going bar for bar with anybody than Jada. Jada's the only cat that made 50 feel like he had to actually engage, based on the music that was coming out, not based on fame, money, or anything popularity. It was like Jadakiss gave 50 dropped the song. Jadakiss gave him 10 by the end of the week. Like
Yeah.
the level of dedication that he has to just come at you. Even going back to Beanie, I know Gene and I have talked about this. Who won the battle? He feels like Beanie won. Jada was talking reckless at Beanie. Like, if I come there, clap you gorillas, and if he said if you want to bring a gorilla, niggas is dying for free. Talk about freeway.
Yeah.
Jada is I mean, Jada went at Hove.
Yeah.
Jada's gone at Hove and held his own. Like,
It was subliminal though. Him and Hov was
yeah,
barring each other up. Yeah.
right. Jada's the only cat that I feel like has never, like, nobody ever tries or nobody ever sons him. Like, people don't diss Jadakiss. Outside of 50, nobody really diss. Before the whole Beanie Siegel thing.
Yeah.
But I like Jada, man. Jada's rep. He's got the wordplay. He's got the voice. He's got the wit. I feel like to win battle raps, you got to have wit. And, like, his ability to just laugh at you while he's giving you bars is crazy. I think that's dope. Interesting. Nobody said Nas. Nobody said Hove.
Real
Even
quick,
though
who's a rapper that's never been in a battle, but you would have loved to see them in a battle? I'm gonna go with Lloyd Banks. I would have loved to see Lloyd Banks.
Lloyd Banks has gone back and forth with Game.
But it's kind of like mixtape stuff. I'm talking about like, yo, we making records going at each other. I would have loved to see Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks versus the Game, it feels like an official battle. He would have served them up.
Game's tough in that field, bro, because Game's like Jada. He doesn't stop. Like, he doesn't stop rapping.
He's gonna give you 200 bars.
He's gonna give you 200 bars and then do another one by the end of the night. Like, I honestly, J. Cole, bro. I feel like J. Cole.
Yeah.
Bro, he's nice, bro. He's nice, bro. He's just a good guy, though. That's the
out,
thing. He's a good dude.
man.
Like
He did tap out of that. It could have been a good battle, just like good battle, like a little 1-1-1.
Right. And I think it was going to stay friendly with him and Kendrick because
Yeah.
Kendrick has personal disdain for Drake. He doesn't have that for Cole. So I think it would have been, they would have sparred and they would have got out of there. But, I mean, J. Cole keeps saying nobody could touch him on the mic. So I would love to see him engage, even if it's not like that.
And I think he would have fared really well in that battle.
Absolutely.
That's the most disappointing thing, man.
That's why everybody was tight because it's like, Cole, you're built for this. Like your wit, your bars, your flow, and all that stuff. Like you're built for that. So that's disappointing. But yeah, so you got Beans, I got Kiz, and Duece has SP the Ghost, legendary. All right, we're gonna get into some football. Duece, I know you've been probably you've been chomping at the bit to talk to these guys because last time we talked about a disgruntled wide receiver that wanted out after getting a big contract on a new team where he had a lot of success on his previous team, Davante Adams. You said enough is enough. We got to sit this thing out. Tyreek Hill after the game on Sunday, out of nowhere, just started rambling in the media. Shout out to Omar Kelly for getting the video, and he's essentially saying, "Man, this place is terrible, man. Like, and I got to get out of here." And now essentially he wants to get out. He's posted the Antonio Brown picture, which we know is like you don't do that. He's used that as now his profile picture on Twitter, meaning I'm out, which he said. What are your thoughts on Tyreek and him wanting out of Miami?
I feel like he had a spot and that's what happens when you chase the money. When you chase the money, you don't go to the spots where you start winning at. Like you want to win, but you went to the spot where you got the money and you was at the spot where you was winning. You get what I'm saying? You left the spot where you was winning at. Praise Tua because they gave you the money, and then now all of a sudden it's like, damn, I'm out. I don't want it. Tua's getting banged up. They talking about the organization. And it has probably personal stuff to do with it. What's going on? What happened with him going into the season?
The police
arrested outside the stadium and everything. So that probably has something to play into it. But I look at it like that. I look at it like, yo, you chose to go there, and like, you know what I mean. So you knew all the ins and outs and everything. Right. That was your choice to go. That was your choice to play.
Right. Yo, you're a lot nicer about him than you were about Davante Adams. Do you like Tyreek or something? I was expecting you to come on here and show the computer a few times, like.
Because to be honest, because Tyreek Hill, he really produced though. He produced, and I like you said, I like Tyreek Hill. Davante Adams, I really wasn't feeling this game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To be honest with you, into making all that noise over there, I really wasn't feeling this game. But Tyreek Hill, I like Tyreek Hill. We could use him.
Okay. Gee, what you think? Is he bugging or does he have merits to wanting out?
He's bugging in the sense of, after the game and saying what he was saying. In that aspect, he's bugging. But I just don't understand why people keep mentioning, oh, he was with KC and he left. Yes, in the NFL, when you don't have a guaranteed contract, you have to chase the bag. We know this already. Kansas City, they said that they weren't going to pay him what Miami paid him. So I just don't understand why people keep on harping on this. Yeah, but you left. He was the best. He's pound for pound the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's at the apex of his career, and it was time for him to get paid. So, if the Chiefs, I guarantee you, if the Chiefs would have matched that offer or would have said, hey, we're going to pay you what you're worth, he would have stayed with Kansas City. But the NFL doesn't work like that. He needs to be more professional and handle it better. But I don't like all the other things that people are saying that's associated with it. And it's just like, okay, he goes to a new team, he bigs up Tua, but yeah, that's his quarterback. So now you have to big him up, I just don't understand.
So Duece is like anti-players, and you're like all about the players, G. You're too nice about this. Tyreek, listen, Tyreek had a great situation. He was going to get paid. He wasn't going to get paid $30 million, which he wanted, which he was worth at the time. But he left, and then he just started. Like, you can go to a new team and big up your team. You're saying this guy's just as good as Patrick Mahomes, the guy who you just won a Super Bowl with. That was too much. And again, whatever, right?
Bro, he was just bigging up his quarterback. This is his third season. Yeah.
But
So,
we also know,
but he just got a new contract. That's the thing. He just got a brand new contract last offseason. They redid his deal after he outperformed the first 2 years.
So do you
So
think
it's like
this is
now,
about
bro.
So is this about the money? Is he complaining about money, or is he just
That's
talking
the
about
thing. We
the
don't
team?
know.
Exactly.
It's not money because he got a new contract.
But
He wants to win.
why is everybody automatically jumping to, oh, well, you could have stayed with Kansas City. You ran for the money.
I think he's upset that they losing. I think it's
Absolutely.
upset that, So
Absolutely.
that's where it's like, I'm not mad that he wants to leave because they're losing. It be people that want to leave because they're not getting paid, that they already signed their contract. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, Tyreek Hill, that's like interviewing people right after that loss like that. It's like, yo, what you want him to say? Like, you know what I'm saying? He want to win.
Nobody else said that though. Like Tyreek acted like a baby, bro. Like, and I like Cheetah. He acted like a baby,
Look,
bro.
I'll agree with you on that sense. He could have handled it way more better, especially it being the last game of the season. Be a little bit more professional. But it just time and time again, every time something happens, they want to bring in 17 other factors that don't got nothing to do with what's going on. Let's talk about what's going on right now. Don't tell a football player who's not getting guaranteed money, right? Okay, if one team is going to give me 40 mil, this team's going to be 25 mil. I'm going to the team that's paying me 40 mil with my contract ain't guaranteed.
But then be like you said, shut up and catch the ball. Then, like, I don't want to hear nothing else.
And he does that. And he
But
does that the best.
now he's trying to find a way out. Like, so what's gonna stop him from doing that with the next team that if he goes there and they're not winning?
So but did he force his way out of Kansas City? He just left because of the bag. Yeah, he wasn't disgruntled, but so he doesn't have a track record of doing that.
I don't know, bro.
When he was in Kansas City, he was a model citizen. He was a Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, and he just left just because he wanted the bag. It wasn't off bad terms. He wasn't getting in trouble in the off season. He just chased the bag. So we can't label.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I said we can't label him a troublemaker because you're saying, what if he does that with another team? But this is the first time that he's done that, though.
What I'm saying, I agree. What I'm saying is, I think anytime you leave a winner, a team like that, you're always going to get criticized whenever you feel like the next place, the grass isn't greener. Like, if somebody leaves Tom Brady and they go play somewhere else, you always hear about it. You always hear about it. It's how it works. You don't leave, not saying you don't leave, you do leave. But that's what comes with it. If you leave a situation that is good for you,
but
fellas, like if Saquon went to Philly,
9 times out of 10 they're leaving because of monetary issues, not because of the team. Again, if Kansas City was willing to pay that money, he would have stayed. What it's not the NBA, it's not MLB. Bobby Bonilla is getting paid till 2035. It don't work like that in football.
I mean, listen, Brady took mad discounts to stay in New England and win 6 Super Bowls.
And how much money? Right, and I guarantee if you look it up, he probably made over $200 million in endorsements. Cheetah is not seeing that type of money.
So then get your endorsement game up. Get your weight up.
Like that's like if you want to win, you're not going to get that big contract when you're on a team trying to win.
That's a good point, Juice. Because now I'm thinking about it. How many big money wide receivers are on Super Bowl teams? Like when's the last team that won with a big money wide receiver?
Yeah, it's
you know
hard. What I mean? It's hard. Like you said, it's hard because it's like you got to pay your quarterback. The quarterback need the bread,
right?
And then the
offensive line is going to get
get a couple linemen,
cornerbacks,
running back, defense, and it's like, come on, man, we can't pay this wide receiver all that money and then expect to pay the quarterback and then have a good defense.
That's why Kansas City did it right. They won with Cheetah before they had to pay him crazy money.
That's what I'm saying.
Jamar Chase, the Bengals
also
got there.
He could have stayed if he wanted to win. He could have stayed.
The money was close. Money it wasn't $12 million apart. It's like, but again, in football, like Gene said, when it's not guaranteed, $5 million seems like a gazillion bucks. It changes everything, right? So it was like, I believe the discrepancy was like Tyreek wanted to be. It wasn't even about a number. He wanted to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL. That's how these guys' egos are. Like Jamar Chase is going to want the most money of any receiver in the NFL. So he's going to break the wide receiver market this offseason. Right. But again, how is that going to help the team? Because T's out. You can't re-sign T if you give Jamar the highest paid contract in the NFL. So now the team that you had that went to the Super Bowls and overachieved with all this young talent on a rookie contracts 3 years ago, now you're going to just be bringing piece guys in to try to make it work. But the nucleus that you had that got you to a Super Bowl is no longer there. It's hard in the NFL. That's why the guys, Janelle's like, don't pay running backs, don't pay receivers because
no. You can pay receivers because I mean half and half, but they're not gonna if they're gonna start devaluing the wide receiver like they do the running back, then they're gonna be in trouble because your quarterback needs some decent wide receivers, bro. And
decent, but do you need a $40 million receiver?
But it's also on how they structure these contracts, though. You know that, like, it's all about the contract being structured correctly. But I'm noticing the past 5, 6, 7 years, there's at least a legit good 4, 5, 6 wide receivers coming out every single year now. Unlike the running back, where you might hit one good one in the draft or one super one. I feel like look at this year. You got Neighbors, you got Thomas, you got all these wide receivers. Jamar Chase is 3 seasons in. Justin Jefferson is a few seasons in. So you're more likely to get a good wide receiver. But they can't be cheap with every skill position on the offensive side and just think you're gonna pay. Pat is the outlier. Pat, you can put us 3 can suit up with Pat right now. We do something,
I mean, but Lamar's doing it. Josh is doing it. I think if you have a special quarterback, you can get away with it. I don't think it has to be a special QB. You can kind of get away with that stuff to a certain extent. But it also depends. Now it's like, what's your defense look like? Like the Chiefs are literally like perfectly built for Pat to be they can be the Patriots, like you said. Like think about it. Their formula is like they got a tight end that's been dominant all time. Travis Kelce. And they let Tyreek go, and they went back to they won 2 straight Super Bowls because they changed the offense. They're like, we're going to change how we play. We're going to bring some young guys in where they don't have to be 1,000-yard guys. They don't got to be 1,200-yard guys. There's got to be enough. Xavier Worthy, I thought he had a really good season. Like people say he didn't get 1,000 yards. Dude scored 9 touchdowns. He had over 60-something grabs. He did what they asked him to do. They weren't going to throw it to him 140 times.
But on the flip side, they built up that defense as well. Because if Casey didn't have that defense, you'd be hearing people say, let's say the last 2 seasons they didn't win, it'd be, oh, Pat doesn't have the weapons. Yeah, I got to go out there and get him weapons. So when Brady had a few down years,
They even lost key pieces on defense. They lost, remember, Tyrann Mathieu was the captain of that defense in the secondary. They lost some other guys, Snead, the kid who went to Tennessee. So they just, again, you got to have good organizational structure where you can find guys that fit more than like superstars. Just find guys that fit to your scheme so that you can continue to roll. But I think Tyreek, I don't know. The GM talked today. He said he didn't officially ask for a trade. He just kind of like had a temper tantrum.
That's what I was saying. I think he was just a little upset after the loss. That's like, you know what I mean?
I mean, we'll see. They're not helping the whole wide receivers or divas look at all because all these dudes have been wilding on. Like George Pickens is wilding. Everybody.
See,
AJ Brown.
That's different though. Pickens ain't putting the sweat equity of Tyreek Hill to be wilding like that, bro.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. All right. So while we're talking about guys who change teams, Saquon Barkley. He's first-year Philly, rushed for 2,000 yards, had arguably the best offensive season of any player in the NFL this year. I think that's a pretty strong statement that you can say. He was 101 yards short going into Week 18 of breaking the record, and the Eagles decided to sit him for rest and security purposes as opposed to letting him get the record. It's been a lot of conversation about it. I hate it. I'm pissed. Not because I'm a Saquon fan or an Eagle fan, or I just think it's like you guys are football players. It's stupid to not allow a football player to play football for a record that might literally never be broken for another. Like it's been non-broken for 40 years for a reason. Do you guys have a problem with it, or is it like no big deal?
With that, I look at it like you got to ask the player. Like if I was a coach, I'm going to ask Saquon. I'm like, yo, Saquon, what would you want to do? We got second seed locked up already. You already know what's at hand. This is, like you said, this is football. Do you want to go for the record? If he says, yes, coach, I want to go for it, we're going for the record.
What player is going to say no, they don't want to go for the record, though? They won't tell you that so they don't come off selfish. But what player doesn't want to break an all-time record? Like, that's
where that's
you're
on
setting
him.
the player up. You're setting him up.
Nah, that's like you setting the coach up to put him out there just to break a record, knowing you already got the second seed locked up. Now, if the record wasn't at hand, it would have been a no-brainer to sit Saquon.
Right.
So it's like, all right, are you just going to push him out there just to break the record? So that's all, he's grown. He's been in the league a couple of years. Like, actually, man, like, Saquon, you want to break the record? If he say yeah, we're going to break the record. You know what I mean? But if he that's what I'm saying. Did the coach ask him, or the coach just said, we ain't going to sit him. We ain't going to play him?
Coach asked him a rhetorical question. Saquon said, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. He was like, obviously, it'd be great to break it. My family, like you saw, there's a video of Saquon saying his family really, really wanted him to break the record. And Saquon, even himself, sounds like he wanted to say, I want to break it. He just doesn't want to come off selfish because Saquon has a reputation of being very selfless. So he's never going to come say, play me, coach. I want to break the record. And guys looking at him like, bro, we're trying to win a Super Bowl and you're worried about records. But again, at that position, they just wrote the man off. Like, who does not want to have a record? Your name is in the history books forever. Like, why wouldn't you want that? You wouldn't, if it was your son, Duece, you wouldn't want him to break the record? Like, what you talking about, coach? Put my son in the game before I drive to Philly. You out your mind.
That's tough, man. Because like you said, like God forbid, you know what I mean?
Football, bro.
It's football.
You can get hurt the very first snap next game. Like, it's football. This game is dangerous. Like, what do you think, Gene? I'm bugging.
That very next game is more important than the last game. But I mean, earlier in the season, he had a chance to break his single. It was a rushing record. I think the most yards in a single game that he previously held with the Giants, and he was only like 7 yards. And the coach went to him and was like, yo, you want to go back in? You're only like 7 yards away. And he was like, nah, we're up by like 21. I'm Gucci, Then you look at a situation with the Baltimore Ravens. They just lost wide receiver number 1, Zay Flowers, who I don't think is going to play this game. So now it is risk versus reward. But going back to Duce's point, if I was the head coach, I'm going to ask my player, what do you want to do? And whatever he tells me he want to do, we're going to roll with that. Another thing I have to remember, if he was 20 or 25 yards away, I think it would be a no-brainer. 100 yards away is almost damn near a full game, right?
Full game.
With the opposition knowing that he's going for that record, so they're going to be stacking the box. They're going to do everything in their power to say, I don't care if y'all beat us by 40 and the QB throws 7 touchdowns. Saquon is not getting that record, bro.
Let me tell you why that's cap. That the opponent that we're talking about was the Giants, right? That's one. Not that they're bad. It's any given Sunday. That the Giants, when Saquon came back to New York week 6, I'm pretty sure it was on every bulletin board in the building from the parking lot. Shut this nigga down today. Don't let him get nothing. That man ran everywhere and he ran into the stands. If there's any time they wanted to stop Saquon, it's at your crib. You don't want to get embarrassed by the dude who left to go to your division rival. You telling me the last game is when the Giants were tanking too. The Giants didn't even play starters.
Because he's going for the record.
Bro, he didn't play. So then why? But the Giants didn't play starters. They played backups. They were tanking. They tanked the game.
All I'm saying is 100 yards is damn near a full game in today's NFL.
Not for Saquon.
If it's 40, if it's 30 yards, 20 yards, I'm like, yo, bro, going in the first half, I'm gonna give you a half. We're gonna give you 20 carries. Go get that record. But 100, bro, like,
Gene, you act like that's not light. That's light.
So
Saquon's had that in a quarter.
I got a question for y'all. Since now that we're on the 17-game season, what is the rushing standards now for running backs? It can't be 1,000 no more.
It can't be 1,000. That's why I'm not impressed with 1,000. But that's still going to be the milestone. It's always going to be the milestone.
1,200.
They that's not the milestone no more, right?
Because it's a passing league more like now. So that's why it's like yes, it should be a tick of 100, 200 more yards, but it's like, well, we also pass more. So that's the caveat. Like the guys are not going to be rushing for 1,200 yards, not the average guys, because again, when you hit 1,000 yards in the mid 2000s, you were all pro. You were a Pro Bowler. Yeah. It was like that. But now it's like everybody's throwing the ball. So it's like, do you have the opportunities to even be average as James Cook, who is one of the the starter for Buffalo? He has 16 touchdowns this year. This dude just cracked 1,000 in week 18. Like, because people are throwing the ball a lot. Like, and he's a good running back. James Cook's a very good running back. But they're throwing the ball so much that he's not going to get all these yards. He's going to score touchdowns because they're going to get in the red zone, and he scores a lot of touchdowns, receiving as well. I don't think guys are just going to be rushing. Like, even for the Giants rookie, they just made 1,000 yards from scrimmage. I'm like, man, give me the rushing yards, bro. You're trying to impress me now, telling me 1,000 yards from scrimmage. How much did he run for, bro? Let me know. Stop trying to, butter it up so it looks better, for you to push an agenda. But I think once guys hit 1,000, again, in this context, we could know, like, all right, that's not all that impressive. Everybody's doing it. But the people on TV who talk about it, that's what they're going to mention. They're going to say he rushed for 1,000 yards, so therefore he's legit. And everybody's doing it. Literally everybody's doing it. Like, so, bro, you gotta go for the record. You gotta go for the record. It's not just a Saquon record; it's a team record. Also, like, the offensive line's gonna have bragging rights on that. Like, your team's gonna live in infamy with that record. Like, when you think of Eric Dickinson, you think of the Rams. Like, you cannot take that away. And again, his family, his kids. Like, again,
what was Eric Dickerson saying? He did it in 14 games.
He did it. Eric did it in 16 games. OJ did it in 15
did it in 14 games. That's my pops were talking about OJ.
Right. Which is crazy, bro. OJ did that. OJ was really like that, bro.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna talk about OJ before they cancel us, but OJ was really different, bro.
Yeah, different.
Doing that in 14, 15 games, like, is insane, bro. It's insane. All right, let's play some superlatives, wild card round. I hope you guys came prepared to talk some potential wild situations this weekend. All right, I'll start with Gene, and then I'll toss it to you. Same question, Duece. What's the team that is most likely to pull off an upset this week in the NFL?
Denver Broncos.
You want it so bad.
The Denver Broncos against the Bills.
Okay, Duece, who's most likely to pull off an upset this weekend?
I said I got the Packers over the Eagles.
Let's go. That's why I think it's either Packers or Eagles or Commanders at Bucks. I think Commanders got a lot of smoke for the Bucks.
You think the Commanders
could beat the Bucks?
I think the Commanders is the better team than the Bucks. So is that like a upset? Or who?
No,
we don't know.
It
got Vegas controls that line.
Right. I think that's a good point. That's a very close game.
Yeah.
Home field advantage. You're going to get the advantage on the Vegas line. But I think, again, rookie quarterback, Baker's been an all-pro playing level this year. They got Mike Evans, who just had his 10th straight 1,000 yards. On paper, they're going to say Bucks. I feel like Commanders are a good matchup. And they got Marshawn Lattimore, who is the boogeyman for Mike Evans, which just so happens to be they're playing each other.
Dude, I saw a highlight clip of them two going at it. I didn't even know they had beef like that.
Oh, bro. It's smoke. It's like hand smoke. Like, these dudes getting ejected from the games type smoke. So I think that's going to be interesting without Chris Godwin to see how the Bucks counter when they put Lattimore on. If Lattimore's healthy, he's been nursing a hamstring injury. I too think it is the Eagles likely to be upset. I think the Packers. You know how I feel about Jordan Love, man.
Is Jalen Hurts good?
I don't know, my G. Like, he's been in the protocol for 3 weeks now, and it's like he hasn't been cleared yet. I don't know if they're just like playing the game of like keeping it, close to the vest, or if there's a legit concern there. If there's no Jalen Hurts, you can pack it in.
That's probably why they keep it in secret.
Right. To make you think he might play. But again, I hope he's good. I want to see them lose with Hurts so I can clown the Eagles fans. All right. Who's the team that's most likely to choke? So it wouldn't necessarily be the same team that you have that's being upsetted, but like choke, like you should have won and you just completely choked it away.
I'm gonna go with the Vikings with that one. Because I feel like the Rams are almost like the Bengals. They're two teams that no team really wanted to play in the playoffs. I mean, the Bengals didn't make it, but if the Bengals would have made it, they would have been one of those teams that people don't want to. And it's because, like, the Rams, you don't know what Rams team you get in week to week. It could be the Ram team that go in there and put a 50 on you, or they could look like they're barely scoring 10 points. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, if it happened to the Vikings, and, I'm not really, Darnold. He gotta prove it to me. He ain't really show up against the Lions, and they needed that game.
All right, man.
Yeah,
that's a great Lions team. He didn't play well. I'm not gonna say he played well. He didn't play well. No
Okay.
excuses. Let's see
Show up.
what happens on Sunday. Dudes, who you got? Who's most likely to choke this weekend?
I got Josh Allen and the Bills.
This is crazy, bro.
I got him. I got Bo Nix, Sean Payton going in there, holding it down.
All right. Who is a player that is most likely to surprise us?
Ooh.
Pleasantly surprise us, specifically.
I think Herbert. You know, he's gotten a bad rap the past 3-4 years because when he first burst onto the scene, they kind of like anointed him too quickly. And the last 2 seasons, he got humbled. But with Harbaugh being his coach now, a complete 180. No one thought that they were going to be this good. So I wouldn't be shocked if he went out there and threw 3 or 4 touchdowns. So I'm gonna go with them. And the Texans, they just too many injuries, bad O-line, man.
Tough matchup for the Texans. Duce, who's most likely to pleasantly surprise us?
Bo Nix.
Okay, you really all in on Buffalo going home. You want it to happen, so
I like the way the Broncos play, though. I like the way the Broncos play.
I actually like these picks that y'all are making against the Bills because when Josh Allen goes out there and puts up 48 on their noggin, then I'm going to be so loud about my conversation because y'all are saying that these guys are going to trick us, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, right. I got Bo Nix surprising us.
Okay. Which coach is most likely to have a brain fart moment and be outcoached?
Oh, Todd Bowles. That dude, when he was a Jets coach, half the time he was asleep, man. Like,
wow.
Todd
He
Bowles,
didn't even
man.
think about it.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. He's not
okay, who you got, Duce?
I'm going to use one of Paul's line. He's not an X's and O guy at all.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the dude from the Eagles. The Eagles.
Nick Sirianni?
Yeah, he's gonna go for one of them 4th and 2 push tush at the wrong time.
With a quarterback coming back from concussion would be insane.
Yeah, he's gonna go for one of those at the wrong time. And he got Saquon in the backfield.
Okay, all right. So, there is a lot of superstars playing on defense this weekend. We got T.J. Watt, we got Patrick Surtain, we got Roquan Smith. Give me the defensive team that is most likely to score a defensive touchdown in Wild Card Weekend. Is it the Ravens? Is it the Steelers? Is it the Broncos? Is it the Texans?
It's the Ravens. It's the Ravens. I was going to, we got to get one. We ain't get a turnover and a touchdown in a while. I don't even think we got.
Last time we played the Steelers. Last
game we got one. Last game, the first touchdown. Yeah. So we're gonna re-up on them.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna go with the Eagles with that one. Last 10 games, that defense. Remember early in the season how we was killing the secondary? They couldn't pressure the quarterback, but like the last 10, 11 games of the season, that team turned it around. Jalen Carter's he's a monster. Secondary's playing better, so I think they'll end up getting some turnovers.
Okay, all right. Well, some of these superlatives, we'll see what happens. I think. We'll see what happens. It should be interesting. I think there's actually a lot of really good matchups. Like usually Wild Card Weekend is trash.
Yep.
Yeah. This is probably like the best playoff setup in a while.
Well, a lot of these games could go either way. Like it's like
that Vikings and Rams game, that's a tough game.
The Eagles and Packers, I'm gonna be so locked in. Bro, like that's that was week 1 in Brazil, by the way. That's a rematch.
Real quick, what do you think is going to be the best game? I think that Commanders and Bucks game is going to be.
Yeah, I was going to go there. I think that's going to be a shootout.
I think that game is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know Baker's going to do some wild joint,
Yeah.
That's the one I was going for, too.
Either that one or Philly and Green Bay. Again, seeing what Jordan Love did when he walked into Dallas last year, calm, cool, collected, and just I know it's the Cowboys, but that was his first ever playoff game, and he went in there looking like a vet. I want to see. That's what I'm interested. I want to see if that's the same aura he walks into Philly with a team that is, the 2 seed. Like records don't matter right now, bro. I'm the best quarterback on the field. Which
they're dealing with some injuries on the
even him, Jalen. Buddy's
hurt his elbow. He hurt his elbow, right?
He hurt his elbow. Christian Watson's done, but he's always hurt, so I'm not worried about him. Christian Watson is never healthy, so whatever.
But
defense, though,
like they said,
Jair
no one's healthy
Alexander.
at this time.
If Jair Alexander, he hasn't played in like a month. If he can come back to match up with AJ Brown, that'll help a lot in the secondary with, the safety. They have all-pro safety with Xavier
McKinney,
McKinney.
right? Or McKenzie's name?
Right, Xavier McKinney. So
Yeah, he's good.
But Jair, if they don't have Jair, it's going to be tough to stop that Eagles secondary. It's going to be. I mean, the Eagles wide receivers. All right, some quick predictions, which probably leaks from your superlatives. Chargers at Texans, official game picks. Who you got?
Chargers.
Damn, Chargers.
Yeah, I got Chargers too. Texans are just their offense has been consistently awful all year. Injuries, a lot has factored into it, but it is what it is. Steelers at Ravens.
Oh yeah, that's Baltimore.
Ravens by 21.
Oh, at least he said it with his chest.
Steelers' offense is horrible, man. If it was Justin Fields, I would be like, "Yo, look, be easy," because Justin can pull it out. But like, I don't know, man.
I got the Ravens, but I'll say don't sleep. That's all I say. I'll say don't be surprised if something crazy happens. I think there's something crazy could happen in that game. Broncos at Bills. You guys got the Broncos, right?
No, I got Bills. I'm just talking.
I really got the Broncos on that one.
Okay, Bills by 21. I'm telling you that right now. Bills by 21. Vikings at Rams.
I got the Rams in this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got the
Rams.
Sam Darnold redeems himself. He bounces back.
I think what's his guy, the defensive coordinator Flores? He's trying to get a job.
That's true.
He's trying to get a job right now. So that defense,
Stafford's been there before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's definitely going to be one of the best games of the weekend. Commanders at Bucks.
I got Commanders.
Yeah, same.
Wow, nobody's picking the home team? Wow. Okay, I got the Commanders too because JD5 is my guy. But I think that's going to be, like we talked about, that's going to be a phenomenal back and forth game. Last but not least, Packers at Eagles.
Packers.
I need Jordan Love to do it. I want them to see resting Saquon did nothing for you. Okay, it did nothing for you but send you home. Okay, you didn't let the guy get the record. Now you don't win a Super Bowl. And I'm probably going to get killed if I might cut this out if the Packers get clapped. I might cut my part out. Because Eagles fans is different. Them dudes be literally watching everything. They'll clap at you. But I think Jordan Love's going to go in there and they have nothing to lose. They're like the underdogs. They have nothing to lose.
We posted something on Designated Report, and I posted it to our YouTube page. I think it was about C.J. Gardner, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, somebody came back in the comments like last week, and this was from like week 4. He was like, "Yo,
I remember."
What's all that issue I was talking about in week 4?
Eagles fans are different, bro. I don't even I ignore comments. I ignore tweeting about them because I'm like, they'll flood my inbox with just wild stuff. So I don't even pay attention to these dudes. But they're different. But I just think Jordan Love is special, and I think he's going to go be special on Sunday. All right, real quick. We'll close out. One player from this season that you want to give a shout out to for whatever reason.
Jamar Chase. He did his thing. Jamar Chase really did his thing for the receivers and for the whole NFL players to just
Triple Crown.
Yeah, just go out there and all right, you don't want to get my money? I want to show you why you're getting my money.
Yeah.
And now like you said,
leave no doubt.
He ain't get you gotta give him it.
Yeah, facts.
Now I'm gonna shout out to my boy, what's his name? Jahmyr Gibbs. Yo, I drafted him. He held it down for me this fantasy. Him and Chase, both of them, right?
He's special.
I remember telling people, I'm like, yo, he has to split a lot of carries with Montgomery. Y'all don't realize how this kid is a problem.
He would have 2,000 yards if he wasn't splitting carries. Easily.
Close to it.
Easily.
And be 20 touchdowns because once they get to that 1 yard line, Montgomery gets it. But I'm like, yo, this kid, like, he's special. He can catch the ball. He'll catch it, take it 80 yards up the field. And everyone is seeing it now. So shout out to him. He still produced, even though he had to split carries.
And not only was he splitting carries, Montgomery was the starter. Like, he was the reliever. Like, he was coming in for Montgomery in between reps. But Montgomery was getting all the first couple drives. Those are Montgomery getting those reps. So, for me, this is a no-brainer. It's Bryce Young. This young man went through everything this year, man.
Yeah.
He got humiliated, benched for Andy Dalton. Everyone was saying we were talking about him earlier this year. He might got to sit for a year. And, shout outs to Duece because Duece said, nah, he shouldn't have to sit. This kid could, go back and figure it out. We just didn't think it would happen in Carolina. He got an opportunity after Dalton got hurt. And the kid has literally been playing phenomenal football. It's
but they
crazy.
Won 3 out of the last 5, right?
3 out of the last 5. What's crazy is around this time last year, we were clowning him because it's like the Panthers passed up on C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
And, it looks like the biggest mistake. And again, I know, a lot happened in Houston this year, but C.J. Stroud had a very, very funky year, and Bryce had a funky year to start. But then since, he got benched and came back, he's obviously outplayed C.J. Again, not that I'm comparing collaterally, but very, very happy for that kid. And now they're talking about, he's their guy. Going into next year, they're going to build around him. Try to get T. Higgins. I would throw the bag at T. Higgins to try to get him. You got to put some players around him. Thielen's going to be great for him in the slot moving forward. He needs that possession receiver.
And they got Xavier Legette.
Xavier Legette. Get him some guys. They got a good running back. What's it? The Chubbard. Canadian cat. Chubbard. Yeah, Chubbard Hubbard.
Yeah, he's good too.
Give him a legit number 1 and let him flourish, bro. Build around this kid. They got a pretty solid tight end from what I saw. I don't know if he's going to be an all-pro tight end, but he's a rookie. Sanders, the big guy. But Bryce, shout outs to you, bro. You stuck with it, man, and he bounced back. He never complained. He never had anything negative to say in the media. He just said, I got to do better. And I'm very, very happy to see him flourish now with the season coming to an end.
Special shout out to Lamar Jackson. They said you was a running back. They said you was a wide receiver. They said you couldn't throw the ball. The second highest passer rating in the history of the NFL. 45 touchdowns. Whatever. Bill Polian. This is dedicated to you.
and they say he ain't got no wide receiver 1. So who he throwing it to with 40-something touchdowns? But I don't know.
So you guys are really. That's a bad argument to make because.
There we go.
No, I'm explaining.
Here we go.
I'm not making it about Lamar being less talented than Josh, but I'm saying if we're saying he threw 45 touchdowns and he don't have a wide receiver 1, or that's the claim, doesn't that make it mean that he has better weapons to catch 45 touchdown passes?
Or he's good at spreading the ball around.
He's making those receivers.
Rashad Bateman has 7 touchdowns. Mark Andrews has 11 touchdowns.
Bro, Rashad Bateman ain't that nice, bro.
I'm not saying this. That's what I'm saying. He's not that nice, but he has more touchdowns than the leading touchdown person on Buffalo. But we ain't gonna get too much into that because that's a story for another day. We'll get on.
Bro, like you said earlier, Cook got 16 touchdowns. You're acting like Josh don't have no good players on his team whatsoever, bro.
Those touchdowns are not game-breaking touchdowns. A lot of these are reds. Gee, I mean, how do we evaluate this thing? Which is go look at the stat sheet.
So you're saying Josh, you got Josh Allen as your MVP?
I've been saying that all year. I've been consistent, going back to I've been saying this since week 3. So this is not me doing on Lamar. Lamar, I'm not even saying he's better than Lamar. I'm just saying.
When was the time? Didn't they have a split MVP one year?
It was Peyton Manning and Steve McNair.
It's Steve McNair, right? Peyton Manning and Steve McNair?
Yeah. I'd rock with that. My whole thing with the Lamar thing, I'm going to always support him because, again, it's when it comes to Lamar, bro, and I'm a Jets fan, bro, but just they move the goalposts for this dude every single. It's anything he does is never good enough, bro. And the other dudes get every benefit of the doubt. And he beat the Lions and he beat the Chiefs. But what happened when they played the Ravens? They got slapped up. He slapped them.
Again.
Okay, wait. But you said that, right?
Yes.
You said what Josh was doing later in the season is more impressive, right?
Yes.
The Steelers were ahead in the division after Baltimore lost against the Eagles.
Bro.
They beat Houston, and then they beat the Steelers.
The same Steelers you got losing by 21, bro. What are we doing, man?
But they're 2 playoff teams.
The Steelers are not a real playoff team. They're not a real playoff.
At that point in time when they played, they was number 1 in the division. But this is what I mean. See, that don't matter though.
It does matter. It does matter. Who did we pick? Who did we pick to win that division coming into the year? Who did we pick to win that division?
I picked the Ravens.
Lamar did what he was supposed to do. Lamar winning that division was what's supposed to happen. Y'all picked the Steelers to not make the playoffs. Remember? I didn't forget.
But when they played in the second or half of the season, Steelers was winning that division. And then they beat Houston, then they beat the Steelers. So why those games don't matter?
The Steelers suck, bro. Right. They literally just lost they lost 4 in a row. What are we doing?
Right? All right, bro.
It's all right.
Every week.
All right, bro.
I hope they don't split it. I hope they don't split it.
You see what I mean, bro?
Every week, Gene posts how the Steelers are going to lose by 40, and then now he's trying to tell me how good they are.
You know why I do that? That's the troll.
But it's also true. They've been losing by 40 every week. Like
I've been doing that since week 1. What do you mean? But this is what I mean. If Josh win, I wouldn't even be upset. I'm just tired of the conversations niggas is having, son.
We'll see. And the interesting part is if they both win this weekend, they play each other in Buffalo.
Your Bills don't want to see that.
Not you think the Ravens would want to see? No, I don't think either of them should want to see each other because that's a toss up. And honestly, the Ravens should win. They're a better team.
Lamar don't get up for the Steelers, but the Bengals and the Bills, he get up for those teams.
It's a playoffs. He don't get up for the playoffs, but we're gonna sign up.
We're gonna do it for you because I remember that's the last when you broke down that play on my boy against the Bills. He gonna do that for you.
I saw that play again the other day. I was about to tag you, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let you slide. Man didn't even try to make a tackle. You got to make a tackle after you throw an interception, bro. You got to go all out to stop the pick six.
I'm like, he remember that. He remember that.
We're gonna see. I'm very excited for this week of football. We'll see how some of these takes, go. And we'll see.
Think this might go down as like one of the best wild card weekends ever.
Oh yeah,
yeah. If it wasn't for the Chargers game in Houston, it would probably be the best wild card matchup I've seen in like 20 years of watching football. Yeah. Like these matchups could go either way outside of like the Steelers and Ravens. Yeah. And I only say that because they're divisional. They should go either way, but it's just outmatched.
What you said is 1,000% correct. Every single game this weekend can go either way.
Either way,
be shocked. I literally wouldn't be shocked, bro.
Right. So we'll see how it goes. All right, that's our show for today. We'll be back next week with some more scorching takes. We'll see if LiAngelo Ball has a Grammy nomination because the Grammys is coming up this month. We'll see if he has a Grammy nomination. Any new features? Maybe I might drop a verse for him if you send me $10K. I'm just
get on the remix.
Right. All right. Enjoy a great weekend of football, fellas. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Holla at a player when you see him in the streets.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Leave me alone.